Hello, everyone. We are Team 3, and our presentation today is on pain points of consumers in the snowboarding industry. Our team is consisted of Danny Riles, Carissa Grove, myself, Devin Rose, Zachary Olson, Carly Johnson, and Tanya Nusrat. So today we're going to go over a customer persona who feels this pain point, a narrative of that pain point, illustrated with a storyboard, and finish with the PMA1.
So using Roma's persona template, we've come up with the typical user for this product. The typical user being an active person in their 20s looking to get the most out of their time on the mountain, either skiing or snowboarding. This persona likes to go to the mountain with friends on the weekends to get their mind off of school and work. The issue that they are facing is that when they go to the mountain, they find that snow gets stuck to the bottom of their boot and they have to knock it off before they can head down the mountain. Having to knock down the snow gets on their gloves and it becomes wet. And as they make their way down the mountain, they find themselves becoming cold and only having to do it again for the next run. An ideal solution would allow the snowboarder to knock the snow off without using their gloves so that they would stay dry and head down the mountain faster. So on the surface, this is a physical pain because with the snow buildup on the boot, the snowboarder has to sit down, scrape that snow off with those gloves, and then the gloves become wet and they become cold as they make their way down. Not only do they become cold, but they also have to take more time getting ready at the top of the mountain. Taking this extra time to knock the snow off causes a psychological pain as well, because if they're having an off day on the mountain, having to deal with that snow piling up on the bottom of their boot is not going to help their feeling towards the day. And then having to sit on the top of the mountain longer than necessary causes them to become more frustrated and they'll want to head home early. So by removing this pain, will allow them to go from the chairlift to the run faster. However, it is the ski resort that gets the most value from this pain being removed, because as the snowboarder can go quickly down the run, they become happier and they're more willing to come back to the ski resort.
All right, so we've illustrated this pain point through a storyboard. So first starting with this woman named Fiona. So she goes snowboarding with her friends all the time. And the last couple of trips, Fiona's had to leave early because her hands have gotten cold and wet through these packed snow on their boots. So going through the next part of the storyboard. So Fiona gets to the top of the mountain from the lift. And so while she's strapping on her snowboard, the bottom of her boots are filled with snow. And so the snow does not allow her to properly fit in her equipment. And so she removes the snow, but then her gloves get very wet and cold. And as this continues on, she's riding up and down the mountain and going up the lift and more snow gets stuck in her boots. Her mood gets more sour and she's no longer having a good time. So she wants to leave early for this snowboarding trip. And then moving on to the next snowboarding trip, the same thing happens. She goes up to the lift and her boots get filled with on the bottom with snow. But her friend now has this tool called the Plow, and she removes the snow from, he removes the snow from his boots and hands it to Fiona. And she's easily able to remove the snow without getting her hands cold and wet. And so now she's ready to fit in her bindings and shred the mountain. And now she can enjoy the trip fully without her hands getting wet and cold.
All right, so our PMA1 we're going to go over is our main goal of this project is to offer a quick and convenient way for snowboarders and skiers to go down the mountain. And with them having a more fun time as well and not becoming cold and wet from unpacking the snow by hand in their boots. So we're trying to create a tool that gets rid of the compacted snow between bindings and boots that snowboarders and skiers face when they're on the mountain, and eliminate those frustrations whenever they get cold and they end up leaving the mountain early. So the scope of this project would be to research and development of this tool while constrained by budgeting and manufacturing capabilities. We have to design and create the Plow through innovative engineering and marketing efforts. So some of the questions we'd like to answer is the Plow demanded by customers? Is the Plow convenient for riders to carry? Is it rugged enough to be carried on runs down the mountain? and how should we start selling it, and where should we sell it. And then we have our target users, which we have to identify as male and female snowboarders, probably 18 to 30, who are middle or high income range, with emphasis on convenience, and probably located in high snowfall areas around the country. And our research plan would be started up by interviewing a target audience to see the gauge for the product, the demand for that product, and we'll design it and get it out to our audience and get feedback on that product, and then start introducing it as we determine our price the audience is willing to pay. Then our secondary research will be how the product handles while it's being used, and if there's any malfunctions, and then research what channel we'd like to distribute this product through. And some outcomes we expect is that the product to be highly demanded, since it does offer a convenient and rugged capabilities for snowboarders and skiers to clean off their boots from snow, and produce this with little cost and higher margins, since it would mainly be consisted of hardened plastic. And some of the success metrics that we decided on would be, after conducting ample research, I'd like to see if the needs of our consumer base are met, and see if we're able to do this within a budget that we're given, and hopefully develop this to where it can be produced in a streamlined process. And so in the first stage here in our project plan, we'll need a marketing analysis of our target customers. And then second stage, we'll need to work with engineers to design the product, whether that be through 3D printers or plastic molds in that third stage. And then the fourth stage, we'll once again need our analysts and target consumers to come back and try this out and test the product we developed, and meet with financial advisors to determine on how we sell that product. So we'd like to thank you guys for watching this presentation today from Team 3. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And it was consisted of Danny Riles, myself, Devin Rose, Carissa Grove, Zachary Olson, and Carly Johnson, as well as Tanya Nusra. Thank you.